Shirley, great to have you on our show.
Thank you.
And more important, great to know you're okay. Unbelievable. Take us back to last Thursday. There you are, you're walking out of the bank. In broad daylight, you get assaulted.
I was walking to my car, and the guy had asked me for directions, and I pointed in the direction to where he had asked me. And I went to open my car door, and the next thing I knew, I was being hit from behind, and he was trying to push me in my car as he was hitting me.
And so what is running through your head? I mean, did you think you were going to make it out alive?
At that point, no, I did not.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I was trying to get away from him, so I was crawling towards the passenger side of the car the best I could. My back ended up over my center console, which is where I kept my gun.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get the passenger door open, but I could not get out.
And so you reached for your gun.
I reached for my gun with my right hand behind my back, advised him that I had a gun, told him not to make me use it, and he reached for my right arm, which is where the hand that the gun was in, and we were inside of the vehicle, so there wasn't much room.
My gosh.
When he reached for my arm, I got my arm above my head and out the door. I was afraid he was going to try to take it from me, so I shot a shot straight up in the air to get help.
And he took off.
And he took off.
Was there anybody around you that saw what was going on?
No.
Mm-hmm. So there you are by yourself.
I was by myself
Mm-hmm.
on a busy street.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, really. I mean, but what was your reaction when you found out that he is a convicted sex offender?
I was even more glad that I got out of it okay, but more afraid of what could have happened.
Mm-hmm. You have any doubt what would have happened if you didn't have that gun with you?
I would have been in the obituaries. There's no doubt in my mind.
You know, it's interesting because you had that gun, you had you have your permit, but you decided several years ago to get a permit, didn't you?
I got it in 2008.
Mm-hmm. And what was the reason?
The reason I got the gun, I've never shot a gun or owned a gun in my life, and about 3.5 years ago, somebody tried to break into my apartment, and I felt that it was time that I learned how to defend myself. My boyfriend taught me how to shoot. Then we took the class so that I was allowed to carry.
Mm-hmm. And it paid off.
Absolutely.
What did your instructor, has he heard about this yet?
Yes, I talked to him today, actually, and he said he's very proud of how I handled the situation.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we hear about this all the time, you know, and we about how you've got a criminal justice system that really doesn't do much to help us be safe or protect us out there.
Yeah, and I found out later that he was also homeless, so he had been walking the streets.
Looking for somebody.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and if it wouldn't have been me, it would have been somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you a single mom? Do you have children?
I do have children. My daughter just turned 18, and my son is 20.
And what did they say when they heard the news?
They were both very upset about it. Glad that I'm okay. Both of my children still live at home, so.
Mm-hmm. You know, I thought it was interesting because you have a sign outside of your home. Tell us about that sign, because that summarizes it all.
I did. I bought that sign a few years ago. I went to a gun show with my boyfriend, and I seen it, and I thought, wow, I really like that. I have a toy poodle. So that's what kind of encouraged it, too.
And just so our viewers know, what does it say?
It says, notice, forget about the dog, beware of the owner.
And you should have had that on your SUV that day.
Exactly.
Yeah. But your message to other women out there, I mean, you look at the situation you were in, and I'm sure, you know, racing through your head, I mean, every second counted.
It did, and the only thing I remember thinking are the instructions that I learned, what to do whenever you had to pull your gun.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to use it. Let them know you have it. Is exactly what I did. And
yeah, but you let him know, but that wasn't enough to get him over.
No, that wasn't enough. He continued to attack me, and that's when I knew that I was going to have to use it. When I couldn't get it aimed at him, the only thing I thought to do was to shoot straight up in the air. So there was, the bank was on one side of me, and there was a Dairy Queen across the street.
What did the police say when they got there?
They never questioned what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a matter of you or not being around, like you were saying.
Right.
But your message, I was asking you earlier, your message to other women.
My message to other women is I'm just an average 39-year-old mother of two, and if I can do it, anybody else can do it.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's interesting because tomorrow here in D.C., the House is going to vote on what is called the National Right to Carry Reciprocity Act, so that people who, like yourself, who have a firearm, who have a permit, they can carry in any state they go in. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that would be absolutely great.
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather, if I go on vacation, I would much rather be able to take my firearm with me.
Yeah. Well, you're living proof that it sure makes a difference.
And I'd like to thank Freedom Firearms and Dave and Shelley Ivy. They are the ones who instructed me on what to do in that situation.
And you said you went into fire training mode.
I did. Everything that I was thinking was exactly what I learned in class.
Mm-hmm. Well, it pays. I mean, and you know, you have these people that want to take your gun away, and they say, hey, just call 911.
If I would have called 911, I would have been gone before they ever got there.
Yep.
Not that I could have gotten to a phone, but...
Yeah, no, true. I mean, you didn't have any time.
Me, my vehicle, we would not have been there when they got there. And even afterwards, whenever we called, they had a great response time. They were there within like 3 to 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The Akron Police Department had a great response time. But still, I mean, it would have only taken 30 seconds to pull out of the parking lot.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, again, thanks for taking the time to talk to us, and we're sure glad it turned out okay.
Well, thank you so much.
All righty, Shirley, you take care.
You too.